Um, Botafogo played Racing from Argentina tonight at the Newton Santos Stadium. The match was uh, a match between the winner of the Sudamericana Cup and the winner of the Libertadores Cup, Botafogo and Racing. And Racing won once again at the Newton Santos, just like they did at their home in Argentina, and took the Recopa title in Brazil. It's a title that Botafogo did not have in the past. It's a title that is highly sought after in South America, but in John Texter's view, it is a what he calls a marketing cup. He said he doesn't care about these kinds of titles, like the Brazilian Super Cup, the Recopa, South American Recopa, and all of that. He cares about the Brasileirão, the Copa do Brasil, the Libertadores, and the World Cup of Clubs that will happen this year and this summer. I, in some ways, agree with John Texter that the main focuses are the Copa do Brasil, the Brasileirão, the Libertadores, and the World Cup of Clubs. We agree there. What I disagree with is a title like the Recopa only comes. You can only play this match against the winner of the Sudamericana if you win the Libertadores. And it's a title that is a big title in Brazil. And I get it that he thinks it's a marketing cup or whatever. Not to the supporters, not to the supporters. And I get it that if we win the Copa do Brasil this year, if we win the Libertadores, if we win the Brasileirão, maybe the loss of the Recopa won't be a big deal to supporters. But I disagree. I disagree on that. I think the Recopa title would be a title to give, to take some weight off the shoulders of these players that have been heavily criticized by the way that they have been playing under Carloseria and now Casapa. I mean, against Racing tonight, we weren't even close to scoring a goal, much less winning the match. We needed to win the match by 2 goals to 0. We lost by 2 goals to 0. We weren't even close to scoring. I mean, we had Barbosa that scored. The keeper made a good save. But I mean, what else was there except for that one? That one header with Barbosa. So I think John fails to take into context what um, this title means to people from Brazil and what this title meant to the supporters of this club. I don't think he quite understood the assignment here. Um, that we should have had a manager from much, 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 much earlier in the season. I mean, okay, so let's get into that. Botafogo announced just about 30 minutes ago the hiring of its new manager, Renato Paiva. Renato Paiva he had some good works, some good results in Independiente del Valle. He had some good results there. He had some good results at Toluca for Mexico, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And he coached Bahia here in Brazil. He was the first coach that Citigroup hired to take over this Bahia project that that Renato Paiva had in his mind. It was going to be a mid to long term project, but what happened at Bahia was his relationship with the supporters was not the greatest, and he chose to leave. He asked to leave. He quit the job basically, and was not able to continue. From what I hear behind the scenes, a name that the club really liked was the former Brazilian coach, Brazilian national team coach, Chichi. Botafogo was looking at him with good eyes. However, when the name was in the press, when the name leaked to the press, the rejection from the supporters was so much. It was a high percentage of supporters that rejected the name that caused this negotiation to go under. So Chichi did not come based on the approval level from the supporters. So if the name of Renato Paiva had leaked before, nobody knew about this name. Nobody knew, not even the people in the independent media. Nobody knew. The name was talked about. John Textor gave the green light and said the okay today. Today. John Textor was in the bus riding with the team. He was en route to the Newton Santos Stadium when he gave the okay to sign Renato Paiva as the coach. And this coach was already living in Rio. He already lives in Rio de Janeiro. He is a Portuguese manager. He's 53 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Portuguese manager. And he already lived in Rio. And he was at the Newton Santos tonight watching his new team. You could see he was talking to somebody who was very agitated. He was talking about the match and looking and making gestures, um, already kind of, trying to understand what he has to work with, which after all the signings, Botafogo has a decent team. Um, I think overall, if you want to kind of take an overall look at the whole squad, I think we have a better squad, more depth to the squad as last year, but we lack in individuality. We have not replaced Luis Enrique and Thiago Almada with the right names. I just don't think Santi is that name, although Santi is a very good player. I'm very excited to see Santi Rodriguez playing with Botafogo. I'm very excited, Artur, to see if he finally comes through. Jair is a great player, young center back. But I don't think we hired anybody at the level of Luis Enrique and Thiago Almada. That has not happened yet. Hope maybe in the summer window there will be a special window in which the teams are playing in the World Cup of Clubs. They will have this special window to sign new players. So we will see. I hope that John Textor will bring some good players. There was a left winger slash striker called Wesley. He used to play for Corinthians last year. He scored some wonder goals. He got signed by Al Nassr, go play with Cristiano Ronaldo, but he didn't get to play much. So there was some negotiations to get him to come. And yesterday, the news broke out, and apparently the player was practically signed by Botafogo, but today the deal fell through because Al Nassr did not release the player just yet. They weren't ready to release him, so he's not coming. And there was some news that he did not come because the news that he was coming leaked and all this. It's not that. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not look, nobody really knew Arthur Jorge when he came, when he got signed. We didn't know anything about him. Anything. And look what happened. He won the Brasileirão, he won the Libertadores, and he's now considered the greatest manager in the history of the club. And this happened last year. Is Renato Paiva the name? I don't know. I've seen videos of him talking about the way that he likes to play, the way that he likes his teams to behave. It's a lot about positioning and occupying space and really uh, basic things like creating space. And if somebody creates that space and then leaves that space, somebody else needs to come and fill that space so there's not a gap. So it's a lot of positional playing and playing in zones and marking in zones. And he likes to be offensive. He likes to push the opposition back, which is kind of what John Textor wants. He wants a team with fast transitions, with players that will call the responsibility to themselves to make something happen. He's not gonna be a coach. It's gonna be sitting on the sidelines and giving instruction throughout the whole match. He expects his players to know what to do due to the training that they've gotten, and he expects them to execute it. If it's the goalkeeper playing with his feet, up to the strikers and the wingers being able to get wide, and so on. And again, creating that space and making sure that somebody's there to fill that space if somebody leaves it. Um, this came from Paiva himself. So you will see. I'm not very excited in the name. I thought that, to go from Roberto Mancini and Crespo to Paiva is quite a drop off. From Mancini to Crespo was already a drop off a cliff, and then from Crespo to Paiva, to me, in my opinion, in terms of name and prestige, I guess it's another drop off. But who knows? Renato Paiva could prove me wrong, and he could prove all of us wrong because there is a lot of rejection from the supporters right now. It's Renato Paiva is not a name that the Botafogo supporters are behind right now. He's gonna have a month of a preseason because Botafogo got eliminated from the Carioca Championship by Vasco. Not by Vasco. Botafogo lost to Vasco, but then got eliminated. And will not play the consolation, not even the semifinals. We did not qualify for that, and we didn't even qualify for the Taça Rio, which is a consolation prize. So not even that. So there's about four less or two less, three less matches to play, which the club will be playing friendlies throughout the month of March to get ready. So Paiva is going to have a lot of time to basically a month worth of preseason to get the team playing to how he likes to play, and we will see how he kind of sets up the team, who's going to play, who's going to lose their starting spot, who's going to gain the starting spot, or if it's just going to stay the same, just in the way that he likes to play. But it's just, the energy is not up there for me today. I'm just frustrated with everything that happened, frustrated that we lost this title, just frustrated. That's the word, just frustration. Which will probably be the title of this video in the thumbnail. If you got here so far, please leave a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. On X, we are very close to 6,000 followers. So go ahead and follow me there on X so we can break that 6,000 followers. Go follow me on Instagram. We only have a few hundred followers on Instagram. And here on YouTube, we're pretty close to 2,000 subs. So thank you for the continued support. And I'm not going to be here and bro against the boat. So if Paiva is the man, then good luck, Renato Paiva, Mr. Paiva, and we're gonna be here to support you, and we're gonna be here to criticize you if you're not doing your job, and if you're not just up to par, because we are now defending champions of the Libertadores and defending champions of Brazil. So you got a lot of work to do, and if you follow through, then we'll be there to support you.